Welcome to Good Morning America's team. Real news, real breakdowns, no bullshit. I'm Tommy Utah, and on today's show, we've got 3 Cowboys stories that actually matter. First, we're talking about Jalen Thompson and what he could mean for this new-look Dallas defense. He's already saying this group is ready to step it up, and we're going to break down whether he can be one of the key pieces that helps turn this defense around. Then we're getting into the Brandon Aubrey situation because this isn't just a kicker story. This is about one of the most reliable weapons on the roster, what he's worth, and whether Dallas needs to stop playing around and get that deal done. And finally, we're breaking down the Cowboys' recent contract restructures, including Terrence Steele, Rashawn Gary, and Kenny Clark, because those moves tell you a lot about what this front office is trying to do right now and how serious they are about building a team that can compete. So if you're tired of clickbait, fake outrage, and people throwing out nonsense for views, you're in the right place. This is Good Morning America's team. Let's get into it.
It's go time. It's go time. It's go time. We going up like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime. We going up. It's go time. It's go time.
Welcome back, folks. We're diving straight into a topic that's really stirring things up in Dallas. Jalen Thompson and the Cowboys' new-look defense.
Oh, yeah, this is something that's been on my mind nonstop recently. What's your take on Thompson's role here?
Well, Thompson isn't your typical headline grabber, but he brings the kind of versatility that, well, is exactly what the Cowboys desperately need right now.
Absolutely, yeah. The way I see it, having someone who can play multiple positions makes the defense much more flexible, like almost unpredictable.
Exactly. You know, he's not locked into one box. Thompson's been openly saying he can line up at nickel, corner, free safety, strong safety, anywhere there's a need. That's the kind of assignment flexibility that really changes the game.
Right. When someone embraces that kind of mindset, it gives the coaches so much room to mix things up and keep the offense guessing.
Precisely. And that adaptability isn't just a novelty, it's a tactical solution. With an approach like this, you're not simply filling a roster spot, you're reconfiguring how the defense operates from snap to snap.
Exactly. But, I mean, don't you think there's a bit of risk in relying on one player to be so versatile? What if, say, his performance on one position isn't up to par?
That's a good point, and it's a fair concern. However, the coaching staff seems confident that Thompson understands the assignment intrinsically, which means they believe he can switch gears without compromising effectiveness.
I can see that. The idea of a player who isn't boxed in by labels really gives the staff more freedom to deploy him in ways that optimally counter the offense's formation changes.
Yeah, it's like having a wild card up your sleeve, you know. This isn't just about versatile positioning, it's about disguising defensive coverages. When the opponent can't tell if he's playing nickel or safety, that momentary hesitation can yield a huge advantage.
Right, exactly. Absolutely. The element of surprise here is a real game changer. It kind of reminds me of a chess match where a less flashy move actually sets up a winning strategy.
Exactly. Think of it like this. It's like adding a new piece to your chessboard that doesn't just move one way but several ways, keeping your entire strategy layered and unpredictable.
I love that analogy. And speaking of layers, it's interesting to note that Thompson already shares familiarity with Ryan Smith from their time at Arizona, isn't it?
Yes, that connection is huge. It's not just about tactical acumen, but also about personal trust and chemistry. When players have that pre-existing relationship, it eases transitions and sharpens communication from day one.
Very true. I agree. It's almost like the coaching staff is minimizing downtime by not having to build trust from scratch. That in turn could speed up how quickly the defense gels as a unit.
Absolutely, and we know the Cowboys fans are hungry for change. They've seen predictability in the defense for too many seasons. Now with this new verbal commitment and tactical flexibility from Thompson, the expectation is that every snap has a chance to surprise the offense.
Right. The fans are demanding unpredictability. They're sick of the defense being, well, too predictable and giving up big plays.
Exactly. It's about communication, timing, and trust on the field. Thompson's versatility directly supports those areas, giving the defensive coordinator more options to design, implement, and execute creative schemes.
Now, here's something I've been mulling over. While this move is tactically brilliant, some might argue it's not a flashy headline, right? It's more of a strategic shift than an attention-grabbing free agent signing.
I see what you mean. Sure, on the surface it may seem like a quiet move, but sometimes the smartest moves are the ones that improve the overall system rather than scoring media blitzes. Sometimes the quiet strategy turns out to be the most disruptive once it's in place.
That makes sense. True, though, it does bring a level of risk. You're relying on subtle adjustments making a significant impact. And if it doesn't click immediately, fans might get restless.
Absolutely, it's a calculated risk. But when you think about it, the biggest improvements don't always come from superstar acquisitions. Often they come from getting the right pieces that make everything else click.
And that speaks to the idea that defense is so much about cohesion and trust. One misstep, one blown assignment, and the whole play unravels.
Right. And with Thompson already declaring his readiness, saying he's prepared for any position he's asked to play, the commitment is clear. The staff isn't just looking for backup, they want immediate on-field impact.
Yeah, exactly. And that also relieves some of the pressure off a unit that's been called predictable in the past, doesn't it? The promise here is of a defense that's not only layered, but has the agility to react to the offense's play calls.
Yeah, in the traditional sense, a defense that can switch looks right before the snap is gold. Imagine a split second of confusion that forces the quarterback to second-guess his decision. That's potentially transformational.
Absolutely. And that kind of tactical shift can really level the playing field and make the defense harder to game plan against.
Right, and let's not forget, when you have someone who embraces such versatility, it sets a tone in the locker room, a tone of adaptability and readiness that can elevate the entire squad.
Very true. Now, one thing I'd like to challenge here, is there a chance we're overestimating the impact of one player? Defense is a collective effort, and while Thompson is crucial, can one change really redefine the unit?
That's a valid concern, and honestly, it's something that can't be completely overlooked. No one player can single-handedly carry an entire defense. But when you integrate someone like Thompson, who enhances overall versatility, it's more about the cumulative effect on the unit. Plus, his presence forces opponents to adjust their strategies, and that adds up over time.
Yeah, I get that. I see your point there. It's about the ripple effect on both the defensive mindset and the offensive planning.
Exactly, and that ripple effect can be the catalyst for evolving a stagnant system. It's kind of a subtle revolution, quiet on the surface, but explosive once it starts working.
And that's what makes this move so intriguing to follow. As the season kicks off, every snap will reveal whether this new-look defense lives up to its potential.
Absolutely. Every play will be a test of their newfound flexibility and their ability to disguise intentions. The beauty of it is that if it clicks, the defense becomes a nightmare for opposing offenses. Timing and trust will be at the forefront.
Yeah, for sure. It's really about these small, smart shifts that over the long haul can redefine a team's identity. I mean, it's less about spectating an instant show and more about watching a well-fabricated system evolve.
Exactly. It's like a long-term chess match. Thompson might be the quiet mover that tilts the imbalance in favor of the Cowboys. His capacity to adapt injects a level of nuance that might just be the turning point this unit needs.
And honestly, if the rest of the defense steps up in communication and consistency, we could be looking at a major turnaround for the Cowboys.
No doubt about it. The focus on versatility and smart play is well suited for a defense that's been under fire. As the season unfolds, we'll see just how potent this combination of experience and adaptability becomes.
So to wrap it up, while this move might not grab all the headlines, it could be one of those strategic shifts that quietly transforms a team's fortunes. And that, to me, is just as exciting as any blockbuster signing.
Couldn't agree more. It's a smart, unflashy move that might change everything once the season gets rolling. For Cowboys fans, that's a promising sign.
Absolutely, yeah. We're definitely going to keep an eye on how this unfolds. Every snap counts. Thanks for breaking it down with me today.
Anytime. And for everyone listening, get ready to see if the Cowboys' new-look defense can really step it up and become that real disruptive force they're aiming for.
All right, folks, we'll step aside now for a quick break. Stay tuned, because after the break, we've got another big Cowboy storyline coming up that you won't want to miss.
Hey everyone, Tommy Utah here. Let's talk about something we all feel. Those high Texas electric bills, they're getting out of hand, aren't they? That's why you need a provider that keeps things simple. Enter BKV Energy, reimagining energy for Texans. BKV offers straightforward fixed-rate plans, no gimmicks, no hidden fees, just reliable power you can count on. BKV is the official electric company of America's Team Network. We trust them, and so can you. Sign up using our referral link and you'll get a $50 credit straight to your bill. It's that easy. With a 30-day guarantee and Spark rewards, switching is a no-brainer. Get more value for your money. Ready to stop overpaying? Head to the link in our bio right now to get started with BKV Energy. Start saving today. Use our link in the description for your $50 credit. BKV Energy, Texas Energy, reimagined. So we're diving right into Brandon Aubrey's contract saga. And man, it's stirring up a lot of questions among Cowboys fans. I mean, here's one of our best kickers, a true game changer, and yet his future is still up in the air.
Right, and it's not like he's just a fringe player. We're talking about an elite specialist whose performance, especially from long range, literally shifts the momentum of the
exactly.
game. But why is this contract negotiation dragging on so long?
Good question. Fans are asking, what exactly are we waiting on?
Right,
you see, the Cowboys placed a second-round tender on Aubrey, setting a baseline at $5.76 million for 2026. But that's just part of the puzzle.
Yep, that's the leverage they've got on the table. But the issue isn't just about that tender. It's really about the long-term commitment. I mean, when you have a player whose skills add so much, should he be viewed as a short-term fix or a core long-term asset?
Exactly. And here's where it gets interesting. Both Aubrey and the Cowboys say, we're in this together. Aubrey has stated that Dallas is his home, while the team has made clear they want him too. Yet somehow they haven't closed the deal.
And that in itself is a sticking point. The negotiation isn't about whether he's worth it. Everyone knows he is. It's all down to the price. Reports indicate Aubrey might be looking at around $10 million a year, while the organization appears to be leaning much lower.
Yeah, it's like the dollars and cents conversation has taken center stage.
Right, because
it's one of those positions where you think value would trump price, though.
Right, exactly, and that's what makes it so compelling. It's almost ironic. Here we have a kicker who redefines field goal range, changes decision-making on the field, and yet his value is being questioned.
It's like expecting a luxury car to run on regular gas. Yeah, exactly. And consider this. His role isn't just about scoring points. More than that, he gives the offense, the quarterback, and even the coaching staff options. He creates a sense of security.
Absolutely.
In tight situations, having that reliable kick can change the whole game plan.
For sure. And if you think about it, the team's current stance sends a broader message about how they value elite production. It's like we want the best, but can we really justify spending top dollar on a kicker?
Right. And that question is where things get a bit murky. Some fans are skeptical, like, is it really worth the risk? But then, isn't it also about how dependable he is? Coaches love players who remove uncertainty. His track record makes every field goal a statement of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not ignore the context. His ability to hit those long-range kicks changes strategic decision-making entirely. Suddenly, teams have to rethink their approach to field position and even when to attempt a field goal.
Exactly. It's a paradigm shift.
Right, for sure.
Think about it. If you can consistently hit kicks from uncomfortable distances, it forces opponents to change their defensive strategies too.
And that's where the Cowboys, the team, faces an interesting dilemma. On one hand, they clearly want him and know he's a huge asset. On the other, they need to manage salary cap implications. It's like playing chess financially,
is critical.
Not just on the field.
Absolutely. And here's a curveball. While many debate the merits of paying a kicker top line, like, should we really be shelling out millions for a kicker? There's an argument to be made that you're paying for stability and for a game changer.
Yep, stability counts, no doubt. But let me throw in a little critique here. Don't you think it might be a risky precedent, paying such high figures for what some might call a special teams role, which traditionally hasn't commanded top dollar? It's a bit of a shift from conventional wisdom.
That's a fair point. I mean, traditionally, kickers haven't seen those kinds of numbers, and it does feel like a shift. But when you break it down, his performance literally changes the calculus of a game.
Right.
Some might argue that risk could be mitigated by the additional control and game management he provides.
And look, both sides seem willing to work it out eventually. Aubrey says Dallas is my home, and the team wants him too. But man, the prolonged negotiation casts a shadow over what feels like an obvious win-win, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yep,
the
indeed.
situation is so transparent that the delay only fuels the frustration. At some point, you need to stop the back and forth and just land the deal.
Absolutely. And this isn't just about one contract. It's a microcosm of how teams value and sometimes undervalue key roles.
Exactly.
When you have a player who literally turns the tide of a game, you shouldn't treat his contract like it's on the back burner.
Right on. Looking forward, the big question is, how aggressively will Dallas move to secure him? Are they willing to adjust their numbers to match his proven performance?
That's the billion-dollar question. And if they don't, then this contract limbo will be a recurring theme that annoys fans week after week. fans could start feeling like this is an unnecessary and avoidable circus.
Exactly. It's like watching a train wreck, in that you know what's coming, but the delay is maddening.
For sure,
Every
it
week, the
becomes
conversation
this
circles back
frustrating,
to, why isn't this
cyclical
sorted
debate.
yet?
And it's not just about money. It's about respect for elite talent. A player like Aubrey, with his game-changing kicks, deserves more than contract limbo.
Certainly. It's about recognizing that his reliability, his ability to clear uncertainty, and his knack for shifting momentum are worth every penny.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, thinking ahead, if the Cowboys do eventually meet his demands, or at least get closer to them, it sends a pretty strong message. It shows that the organization is ready to invest in every facet of the game, even the parts traditionally overlooked.
Precisely. And from a broader perspective, it could influence how other teams approach contract negotiations for positions that have been undervalued historically.
That's a great point.
It might well recalibrate what we consider elite production across the league.
For sure. And while some may still balk at the idea of paying top dollar to a kicker, results speak for themselves. This is a player who fundamentally alters game dynamics.
Exactly. It's a modern twist on contract strategy, one that challenges outdated perceptions about certain roles.
Exactly.
And when you factor in how his kicks give the team that extra bit of control, it all starts to make sense.
And then there's the element of fan sentiment. Fans are not just looking for star power, they're demanding that teams solidify their core units. Seeing a star like Aubrey in limbo, especially when he's been pivotal on the field, just adds to the frustration.
Right, and that frustration can only build if the negotiations continue to drag too long.
Absolutely. It's
At some
like,
point, the team has got
a
to step
ticking
up.
time bomb of fan impatience. For me, the key takeaway is that this isn't a matter of, is he good enough? It's, are you willing to pay for excellence? That's a question that transcends
exactly.
contract negotiations and hits at the heart of how sports value elite performance.
Absolutely. And while both sides seem to want the same end result, an agreement that keeps Aubrey where he belongs, the sticking point is simply the numbers.
Right on.
The negotiations have become a battle over perceived worth versus budget constraints.
And that's what makes this story so compelling. One minute, it's a case study in elite performance, and the next, it's a high-stakes financial negotiation that could set a precedent for the future.
Exactly, and if the deal eventually goes through, it's like a statement. Dallas is serious about maintaining excellence in every facet of the game.
Yeah, that's the message right there. But if the deal continues to stall, the ongoing limbo might erode not just fan confidence, but also the internal stability of the team, especially with such an important asset.
Exactly. It'll be interesting to see what comes next, especially when we start hearing about the front office's moves and their recent restructures. The contract talks are only one piece of a much larger puzzle of where this team is headed.
Definitely. And it's that larger picture of a team evolving, of rethinking old strategies, that keeps the conversation so engaging. Watching how they handle this contract might well hint at their future approach to talent.
Right, and with a player like Aubrey at the center, every decision is magnified. It's not just stats on paper, it's about control, stability, and confidence, all of which matter immensely in the pressure cooker environment of professional football.
Yep, you hit the nail on the head. So for now, Cowboys fans are left watching a tight clock, hoping that the negotiations finally break away from this prolonged runway. It's a wait that feels both unnecessary and, frankly, avoidable.
Exactly. And when the moment finally comes, whether it's a record-setting deal or a smart strategic compromise, it will change the narrative. Until then, the debate is as heated as ever.
And that's the crux of it. The contract talks over Brandon Aubrey aren't just numbers. They're a reflection of the modern values and strategic priorities in football today.
Right. It challenges us to rethink traditional norms about player roles and compensation. At the end of the day, it's all about recognizing the true value of elite performance.
Yep, exactly. We'll have to keep our eyes peeled as the situation evolves, because one thing's certain, when the decision is finally made, it's going to be a major headline for the Cowboys and for the league as a whole.
Absolutely. And as fans, analysts, and enthusiasts, it's our job to watch these moves closely. They tell us a lot about where the game is headed in the future.
Indeed.
Hey everyone, Tommy Utah here. Let's talk about something we all deal with but rarely fix: poor sleep and that nagging neck stiffness. Waking up feeling stiff can ruin your entire day, especially for the gym goers and sports fans who push their bodies hard. That's why I want to show you the Darla Ergo. It's an engineered sleep solution designed for actual recovery and comfort. This butterfly design has targeted zones to keep your spine aligned, whether you sleep on your back, side, or even your stomach. It uses high-density memory foam and cooling technology so you're not tossing and turning searching for the cool side of the pillow. When your neck is actually supported, you wake up ready to tackle the day. It's about sleep performance, pure and simple. If you want better rest and a more comfortable night's sleep, you owe it to yourself to check this out. Head to the link in our bio or description to learn more about Darila Ergo. Your neck will thank you. So let's dive right in with the Cowboys' recent restructures. I mean, these moves with Terrence Steele, Rashawn Gary, and Kenny Clark are not just random number games. They're a real message about how Dallas views its roster right now.
Absolutely. It's like the front office is making a statement that says we're in win now mode. You can tell they're choosing present flexibility over future comfort.
Right, yeah, exactly. And let's start with Terrence Steele. His contract rework is so interesting. On one hand, they're cutting his cap hit, creating major cap relief, but at the same time, they're locking in real security with guaranteed money. That's a dual message. We needed room, but we still value him up front.
Right, and that sends a clear signal that Steele is seen as a key piece, especially on the offensive line where chemistry and stability are crucial. It's like saying, we aren't just saving cap dollars, we're keeping our foundation intact.
Yeah, exactly. Now when you look at Rashawn Gary, things get even more intriguing. His restructuring came with not just a pay cut, but a significant drop in his cap number. That kind of move screams that Dallas isn't making noise. They're making a calculated trade for a real pass rush weapon.
True, though. I have to challenge one point here. Some might say that such a steep cap number drop could undermine his long-term value. But then again, if you believe in his immediate production, the team is betting hard on his present impact.
That's a fair point. Right, because we're seeing that the front office isn't treating him like a lottery ticket. They're treating him like a proven talent. It's like they're saying, we want the player now, cost the future later. And that's a bold strategy if you think your defense can really use his bite.
And then there's Kenny Clark, turning his roster bonus into a signing bonus, which opened up nearly $9 million in cap room, is a move that speaks volumes.
Yeah, it's like immediate flexibility is the name of the game here. Absolutely. It's almost like Dallas is putting all its chips on the table by showing that they're not just reacting to the cap space crunch. They're strategically creating room to keep building a competitive team.
Right. So putting all these moves together, we see a picture. Steele gives stability up front, Gary adds real defensive pressure, and Clark bolsters the interior. The restructures aren't isolated transactions. They're part of a broader, cohesive offensive and defensive identity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Dallas is borrowing from the future to give itself an immediate boost. Sure, it means heavier cap hits down the road and void years that might push pain later on. But if the roster can take a leap forward now, those costs might just pay off.
Yep, that makes sense. I mean, think about it. Some fans see restructures and think it's just delaying tough decisions. But what we're looking at here is a calculated risk taken with the belief that this roster is already primed to be competitive.
Yeah, it really is a case of calculated aggression. And we must highlight that this isn't random bookkeeping. The moves signal that the front office believes in each piece's role, whether it's Steele's continuity on the offensive line, Gary's proven production on the edge, or Clark's effect on the interior defense.
Exactly. And it's interesting to note the contrast. While some teams tend to shy away from such immediate sacrifices, Dallas is all in, showing a clear message that they're ready to compete now.
Right on. Yeah, it's like they're saying we know what's at stake, and we'll manage the future costs because the present opportunity is too good to pass up. In many ways, it's a bold strategy, betting on the roster's close-to-the-line potential.
True. But here's something that I find puzzling, though. Doesn't the accumulation of future cap hits put the team at risk if the current season doesn't deliver? I mean, it's like playing fast and loose with the books.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. It does make one pause, think about sustainability, but at the same time, if they believe the core is strong, if they've seen enough continuity and chemistry, then the risk is calculated. It's like sometimes you have to gamble on what you know for sure in the now, trusting that you can manage the later fallout.
I get that. And that risk-reward balance is critical in the NFL. Teams that are willing to, borrow from the future often do so because they feel the current window of opportunity is closing fast.
Exactly. It's a very aggressive stance. All of these moves, when seen together, really underline that Dallas isn't sitting on its hands. They're actively creating cap flexibility. With Steele providing stability up front, Gary injecting an immediate pass rush punch, and Clark adding depth in the middle, They're reinforcing the very
Yeah, it's
identity
like
of
a
the team.
handcrafted puzzle with each piece crucial to the bigger picture. Right. Each piece fits into this vision of aggressive win now football. And while some might say these restructures push problems into the future, they also provide critical room for additional moves. That's an essential part of free agency and mid-season adjustments.
Absolutely, yes. And let's not forget the message behind keeping Steele. Despite potential cap casualty rumors, Dallas chose to rework his deal instead of letting him go. That emphasizes continuity and the value they see in chemistry. It's an essential cornerstone for any solid offensive line.
That chemistry can't be easily replaced. Then there's the impact on the defense. When you restructure Gary's deal, you're not just saving cap dollars, you're buying immediate production. It's like we want proven talent for the now, even if that means some financial balancing acts later.
Yeah, that's a key nuance. And with Kenny Clark, transforming his bonus into a signing bonus is a clever move. It not only creates cap space immediately, but also adds a sense of financial prudence while still investing in a player who reinforces the team's interior strength.
It's definitely a smart cap strategy. So it all boils down to this. The restructuring is not merely about shifting numbers. It's about crafting a roster that is, in real terms, built to compete now. It's a reminder that sometimes aggressive moves today can set the stage for bigger opportunities down the line.
Right, you are. Exactly. And if we think about the upcoming season, these moves will be tested on the field. The proof of the pudding is always in the play, and these restructures open the door for the Cowboys to potentially exploit matchups and seize opportunities they might otherwise have missed.
That's the real litmus test. Now, one thing to consider is that these moves inherently borrow against the future. Teams that continuously do this might face long-term challenges if their immediate success doesn't convert into sustained improvement.
Absolutely. It's a double-edged sword, right? Right, but the key is belief. Dallas is clearly betting on this roster. They're confident that this present flexibility will lead to a roster that, well, performs at a consistently competitive level. It's like playing with fire but controlling the burn.
High reward scenario. And that confidence, if it pays off, could very well be the difference between a middling season and a true playoff push. It also sets the tone for the rest of the offseason. This isn't a team willing to wait passively. They're actively sculpting their lineup.
Exactly. They've got that aggressive mindset. So in essence, these restructuring moves tell you that the Cowboys front office isn't just balancing the books, they're crafting a strategy. Their actions speak louder than any headline. They believe this roster can step up and make waves now, even if it means heavier costs later.
That's a takeaway. And it's a fascinating study in how teams manage both on-field performance and the financial intricacies of the NFL. Every move, like a brushstroke in a larger painting, adds up to the picture of a team ready to compete fiercely.
Right, paint by paint, they're building a masterpiece. Indeed, it's an art as much as it is a science. The restructuring in this case is less about delaying issues and more about positioning. If their core performs, these moves will have been worth the potential future cost.
Bet. And fans should pay attention to these details. It's not every day that you see a team openly reshape its financial structure with such confidence in its current identity. It's a subtle but powerful indicator of a win-now mentality.
Absolutely. Every detail matters. So looking forward, the real test will be if the on-field performance matches these aggressive moves. If they do, then these restructuring decisions will be celebrated as the turning point that propelled the team forward.
Yeah, that's the ultimate validation. In short, the Cowboys are not playing it safe. They're pushing hard and believing that these immediate improvements can carry them to greater heights, despite the underlying future costs. It's a bold move that brings a lot of excitement and risk into one big package.
Precisely, and thrilling to watch. And with that, we wrap up our deep dive into these restructures. It's been a wild ride unpacking how each decision, from Steele to Gary to Clark, reflects a broader, aggressive plan to compete today.
Yep, an aggressive and very thoughtful plan indeed. No doubt about it. It'll be interesting to see how these moves play out on game day. Thanks for the insightful ride through the numbers and strategy.
Thank you, and here's to watching the Cowboys take that leap. Thank you for tuning in to Good Morning America's team. We really appreciate you spending part of your day with us. If you like what you've seen so far, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because it truly helps the channel grow and helps us keep bringing you real Cowboys coverage. That's exactly why Good Morning America's team was created. There's way too much clickbait, fake outrage, and made-up nonsense out there, and we wanted to build something different. A real show for real fans who want honest talk, real breakdowns, and no bullshit. We also want to give a special thank you to America's Team Network and Clem Dynasty Productions for helping make this podcast possible. Until next time, I'm Tommy Utah. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.
It's go time. It's go time. It's go time. We going up like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime. Like Coach Prime.